Hello, this is part 23 of The Wizard of Oz, and this chapter is called The Country of the Quadlings. Let's find out who the Quadlings are. The four travellers passed through the rest of the forest in protection, and once they got here, out from its gloom, noticed earlier than them a steep hill, protected from top to backside with remarkable portions of rock. "That might be a hard climb," stated the Scarecrow, "but we ought to get over the hill nonetheless." So he led the way, and the others accompanied. They had nearly reached the primary rock when they heard a tough voice cry out, "Keep back!" "Who are you?" asked the Scarecrow. Then a head confirmed itself over the rock, and the equal voice said, "This hill belongs to us, and we don't permit absolutely everyone to pass it." "But we ought to go it," stated the Scarecrow. "We're going to the USA of the Quadlings." "But you shall not," spoke back the voice, and there stepped from at the back of the rock the strangest guy the travellers had ever seen. He became pretty quick and stout, and had a large head, which changed into flat on the pinnacle, and supported with the aid of a thick neck complete of wrinkles. But he had no hands in any respect, and seeing this, the Scarecrow did no longer worry that so helpless a creature may want to prevent them from mountain climbing the hill. So he said, "I'm sorry not to do as you want. However, we ought to skip over your hill whether or not you like it or not." And he walked boldly ahead. As brief as lightning, the person's head shot forward and his neck stretched out until the pinnacle of the head, wherein it became flat, struck the Scarecrow inside the centre and dispatched him tumbling time and again down the hill. Almost as speedy as it got here, the top went lower back to the body, and the man laughed harshly as he said, "It isn't as clean as you watched." A refrain of boisterous laughter got here from the other rocks, and Dorothy noticed loads of the armless hammerheads upon the hillside, one in the back of each rock. The lion had become quite angry at the laughter resulting from the Scarecrow's mishap, and giving a loud roar that echoed like thunder, he dashed at the hill. Again a head shot unexpectedly out, and the extraordinary lion went rolling down the hill as if he had been struck with the aid of a cannonball. Dorothy ran down and helped the Scarecrow to his feet, and the lion got here up to her, feeling rather bruised and sore, and stated, "It is vain to combat humans with capturing heads. No one can resist them." "What can we do then?" she requested. "Call the winged monkeys," counselled the Tin Woodman. "You have still the right to command them over again." "Very well," she spoke back, and placing on the golden cap, she uttered the magic words. The monkeys have been as active as ever, and in a few moments the complete band stood earlier than her. "What are your commands?" inquired the King of the Monkeys, bowing low. "Carry us over the hill to the United States of the Quadlings," replied the lady. "It will be executed," said the king, and at once the winged monkeys stuck the four vacationers and Toto up in their arms and flew away with them. As they passed over the hill, the hammerheads yelled with vexation and shot their heads high within the air. However, they couldn't attain the winged monkeys, which carried Dorothy and her comrades safely over the hill, and she set them down inside the stunning us of the Quadlings. "This is the closing time you could summon us," said the leader to Dorothy. "So goodbye and good success to you." "Goodbye, and thank you very lots," low backed the lady, and the monkeys rose into the air and have been out of sight in a twinkling. The US of A of the Quadlings appeared rich and glad. They became field upon discipline of ripening grain, with well-paved roads going for walks among, and quite rippling brooks with strong bridges throughout them. The fences and houses and bridges had all been painted vivid crimson, just as they had been painted yellow inside the USA of the Winkies and blue in the USA of the Munchkins. The Quadlings themselves, who had been quick and fat and looked obese and properly natured, had been dressed all in red, which confirmed bright against the green grass and the yellowing grain. The monkeys had set them down close to a farmhouse, and the four tourists walked as much as it and knocked at the door. It became open through the farmer's spouse, and while Dorothy asked for something to devour, the woman gave them all an amazing dinner with 3 forms of cake and 4 sorts of cookies. Oh, that sounds lovely. And a bowl of milk for Toto. "How far is it to the castle of Glinda?" requested the kid. "It isn't an amazing manner," replied the farmer's spouse. "Take the road to the south and you'll quickly reach it." Thanking the coolest woman, they started afresh and walked via the fields and across the quiet bridges until they noticed earlier than them a totally lovely castle. Before the gates had been 3 young women wearing good-looking purple uniforms trimmed with gold braid, and as Dorothy approached, one and all of them stated to her, "Why have you come to the South Country?" "To see the good witch who rules right here," she answered. "Will you take me to her?" "Let me have your name and I will ask Glinda if she will acquire you," they informed who they had been, and the female soldier went into the castle. After some moments she came returned to say that Dorothy and the others were to be admitted right now.